Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Big Mike here.
Terry.
Hey, today we got an exciting one. Totally outside of what we normally do.
Yeah.
We have a couple that has started a YouTube channel. I think their first video was published about 6 months ago. The channel I'm talking about is Folksy Overlander. And if you
Overlanding.
Overlanding.
Yes. He wrote it down wrong.
Overlanding. So hopefully you'll remember that. Overlanding. And what that is it's a channel that is based around off-roading. Okay? Overlanding is off-roading and adventure. And if you watch their channel, you start getting addicted to it. Number one, how's David going to get out of this mess? Okay. And thank God we went with the expensive, what do they call those things on the front of a truck?
Winch.
A winch. Okay. We went with the expensive winch rather than the cheap winch because he uses it a lot in his videos. Okay. The creators of Folksy Overlanding. All right. See, there you go. Is David and his wife, Carrie. Although Carrie doesn't like to be on most of the videos, David's actually the star of the show.
Yes.
And he runs around with a group. They're called the NEA, and I'm going to ask him to explain that. The NEA Jeep Club. Okay, and that club, they just love going out there, making trails and taking trails.
We can join that club.
Not with that one.
It's a Jeep.
I'd have to jack that thing up because I seen a Jeep on there. I call it Old Red John 316. John 316 is like a stock Jeep. Cherokee. Yeah, it can't go where the big boys go. No. So anyway, they're located in Arkansas. Their hobbies are off-roading, camping, filming, and nature. And you'll see a lot of nature in a lot of his videos that he's going to do.
I was looking. There's a new name in here.
Who's that?
It's Fox Pro Geek, but Fox Pro Geek equals Brett at Butt Nuggets Homestead.
All right.
We have to say hi to people too. So.
All right. So we're going to bring them up. I just wanted to give you guys an intro to who they are. And we actually met them at Shoot Dang Fest.
We did.
And they were there, and Ben had a great time with them, just talking and stuff like that. And, one of those things when you're a brand new channel, and like David said, he goes, this is the first time I've ever done something like this. Hey, we're trying to make you famous, brother. Boost that channel.
Get your name
Everybody in here, write it down. Folksy Overlanding.
Write it the correct way. And
write it the correct way.
He did.
Like I did. Yeah. I just liked it the other way.
Oh, okay.
But that would only be one, an Overlander.
Yeah.
Yeah. In fact, our Jeep is an Overlander.
It is.
Maybe that's why I got stuck on it.
Probably.
So anyway, who we got in the chat?
Let's see. We got Lila Newton.
Yep.
And Lila, Brittany and I ended up just going to the aquarium. We missed the zoo. We'll have to do that a different time.
Yep.
Out and about with Sam I Am.
Hey, Sam I Am.
He's out and about in a southern summer thunderstorm.
All right.
And Hendrickson Family Farm.
Hello, hello.
And who else do we have? Mama Murphy.
Hello, Mama Murphy.
Brenda at Redbird Farm.
Hello, Brenda.
And
Paul Honeyman.
Paul Honeyman from England. And who else? Jeannie Lipsky.
Hello, Jeannie.
Yeah, I gotta scroll. Making sure I don't miss nothing. Butt Nuggets Homestead.
Oh, he's in here under an AKA too, isn't he?
Yeah. Well, one's him and one's her.
Okay.
And then we have LG Homestead.
LG.
Lori. Hi, Lori. There's Heather Hopper.
Hello, Heather.
Up in Canada Land.
Canada Land. Yeah. Dooley's Michigan Homestead. How you doing?
All right.
I'm glad you're in here, Susie Jacobson. And there he is, Fox Pro Geek.
Fox Pro Geek.
There he is.
All right. I think I'm caught up for right now.
All right.
And we also will probably have another guest here in a little while too.
Yeah.
Because we have company.
Yeah. And so if you remember, we talked about the aftermath of the storms that we had. So Wiley and Jen from Altruistic Farmstead and working with Wiley are here. They're sawing down the trees because he has a sawmill. These are ash trees and he wants the lumber. And so if he takes it and he can have the lumber as long as it's off our property.
Yep.
Nothing like a broken tree on your property, but he's going to be working on that while we're on here. And man, he's even hauling it back to the big burn pile.
Yeah.
I'm happy about that too. So anyway.
There's Alaska's Last Frontier.
Hey, Alaska's Last Frontier.
And Meyer kids are in here.
Meyer's kids.
They were at Shoot Dang.
That's right. They were at Shoot Dang.
And Chris and Larry Homestead from Arizona. And Black's Tropical Homestead.
Hello, hello.
And I think we're caught up again.
All right. So, hey, without further ado, let's bring on David and Carrie from Folksy Overlanding. All right. Is he asleep? Okay, there he is.
No, he was looking at his phone.
Okay. Hey, welcome to the show, guys. Glad you're here. It was absolutely a pleasure to meet you guys at Shoot Dang Fest. I know you guys made a lot of contacts, did a lot of networking and stuff like that. He just didn't have a 4X shirt for me, but that's okay.
That can be for
Next time I will.
So anyway, hey, I watched all of your videos. Number one, I'm glad you didn't have like 140 of them, okay? But I watched every one of your videos. I commented on every one of your videos.
Yep.
And I took notes on all your videos. So
Hi, Chris.
what you posted, I know pretty much everything about. It's not like I just zipped through them. I watched every minute. And when I say that, thank God you have a winch on your Jeep, I really mean that. Because you put yourself in some situations where sometimes it's not just one winch, it's two winches together to get him out of a mud hole.
Yep.
So, hey, my first question to you guys is, tell us about yourself, about you and your wife, how you met, and why'd you start a YouTube channel?
Well, I guess
People want to know this stuff.
we met in high school, actually.
All right.
Middle school.
Well, middle school, I guess. We're the same age. I think she's 6 months older than I am.
You don't have to tell people that.
She robbed the cradle.
So we went to school. Her dad was a preacher. We kind of met through the church we went to. We had the little high school, middle school romance, She had to move. We got split apart, and we met again back 7 years ago.
7 years ago.
And we've been married for 6.
We'll be married for 6 to June the 3rd.
All right.
So
June the 3rd. So why'd you start your YouTube channel?
that's a pretty good question. I don't know. I like to go out there and wheel, and I kind of wanted to share what I do to other people. There's a lot of people that's doing it, but I wanted to do it based on very cheap on a budget because that's who I am. A lot of people go out with $45,000 rigs, and go out, and you don't have to have that, but they kind of advertise, hey, look at this new rollout drawer I've got. It costs $10,000.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? And then you got a $4,000 tent sitting on top of their Jeeps. I had a rooftop tent, but it only cost $1,200. I recently sold it.
Yeah.
I wanted to downsize a little bit, and just really, you don't have to have all that expensive stuff to go out. And I'm here to show people that you don't have to have it.
Now, that's not the same Jeep as in all your other videos, is it?
It is not. That green one, the one actually sunk into the mud hole where I had to have 2 winches to pull me out. That engine was about to go.
Oh,
So I kind of patched it together and let it go.
okay.
And the guy's still driving it. It's still doing good, and he's happy with it. This one is giving me fits because I got a timing issue that I can't figure out. So it's kind of rendering me to get back out there in the woods. Once I get that figured out, I'll be good to go.
Yep. Hey, so what got you into off-roading? I mean,
Man, I'm gonna have to blame that on my grandpa.
okay.
During the summer months, my mom would kind of push me off over there,
Yeah.
And I guess he mainly did it on 4-wheelers out there in the Ozarks. They kind of shut that down, so he started bringing his truck out, and he had an old Ford F-150, and he would just take it out, And that job I guess it kind of gets in your blood, and it doesn't leave you. It never will.
Yeah.
And so I've kind of figured out. I had a Toyota pickup, and I'm fixing to post a video on that. That was probably one of my very first actual YouTube videos that I tried to put together back about 4 years ago.
Right.
And I wasn't happy with the way I did it because I just had a little old cheapo Walmart knockoff GoPro, and that's the only thing I used. And I had the kids with me, and we went out, and we just, I was wanting to kind of get my feet a little wet, see what I needed and didn't need. And I figured out the Jeep was the best. It's more capable because it's got the solid axle in the front, so it'll articulate to the rocks and mud and stuff a little better. So that's one reason why I went with the Jeep, and I've kind of enjoyed the technical part of it on the videos and putting them together. I think it challenged me. I probably put just as much hard work in putting the videos together as I do out there on the trail. Getting out of the Jeep, walking 100 yards just to post a tripod up, then running back to your Jeep, and then it kind of takes the fun out of actually off-roading part of it. But when you put all your images together on your computer and you see, man, I really had a good time, and I really didn't even know it. It looked good. It looked
So
fun.
I did notice that you have some great drone footage.
Yes.
Are you enjoying that wrench in your toolbox as far as filming?
I do. The only thing that bothers me is when you're on a trail, you need to get on and get off as quick as possible because there is people that try to get through, So a lot of times I have to sit on the side of the road or a trail and let my drone sync up to the GPS, and it takes a little bit. And you got to have at least 9, preferably 12 GPSs locked on that drone to actually get it accurate. So but once it's up there, you can see so much that's out there where you can't just, like if I'm sitting here, you can't see, let's say, a mile from you,
Yeah.
That drone will fly 5 miles.
Oh, wow.
But, so if I really want to get a good aerial view of like a creek, like if I want to know what's on down the creek, that drone will let me go and see it.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So yeah, like the drone, I wish I could do more footage of the drone, but the only thing I don't like about it is it doesn't have audio. If they come up with a drone that has audio,
oh yeah,
that would be a big selling point.
That'd be awesome. Yeah. So we met at Shoot Dang Fest. What did you get out of Shoot Dang Fest as far as the interaction with other channels?
They're more okay. Well, with the stuff that I do, we have little outings and stuff, but you guys are all about helping somebody to achieve the subscribers and stuff. These other guys that I roll with that does the same stuff I do, it's hard to get them to even do a shout out. I've given them my shirts and stuff like this, and I haven't had that interaction like I do with you guys.
Yeah. So one of the things that we learned about YouTube, because you can look at YouTube as one gigantic community, and then inside that community are suburbs, the homesteading suburb, the ranching, the gardening, all that goes together. The animal raising, that all goes together into a metropolitan area of YouTube. Then you've got the off-roading, the RVing, that's all, the hiking, the nature, all that's part of that off-roading, traveling, adventure, and stuff like that. But the great thing is that once you're into a community, it doesn't matter what you're offering. As long as you communitize yourself to the family, if you will, we call it family, okay, friends and family. Once you put yourself in there to that family, then I'm going to tell you something. We can make fun of you, but anybody else, we're going to war with them. You know, just like a real family. And we support everybody that's part of our family. And when you came to Shoot Dang Fest, nobody knew who you were. But everybody that was there knows who you are now. And so you started that communitizing your channel into the big family, if you will.
Well, and the cool part about them is, you're doing off-roading and stuff, but a lot of people that are in the homesteading, off-grid community love going out and doing stuff like that. So you've got a whole new audience. You don't have to just be in that little niche.
Oh, exactly. It's kind of like Jared and Jason, they're quote unquote ranchers. I don't know what the definition of a rancher, a farmer, and a homesteader. It's all animals. It's all land. It's all gardening. It's all that stuff. But whatever label you put on yourself, you know, there is like the Crockers. They love off-roading. Cold Beer Ranch loves off-roading. But then they have a whole another side. So when you, like Cold Beer Ranch, okay, he has a ranch. It's 15 acres, but he also puts on there, I got new toys. I got a new four-wheeler. I've got an off-road vehicle. I do this. I do that. He doesn't trap himself into the word ranch. He does whatever his heart feels. If you like it, you like it. If you don't, you don't. I mean, you could be at home. All of a sudden, you got a garden at your house and say, hey, we're spending the day at the house. We're growing peppers or whatever the heck you're doing. And that can be part of your channel. It doesn't just have to be when you isolate yourself, you've got a small community. When you network, that community grows. And I'm so glad you guys came to Shoot Dang Fest and we got to meet you guys. It was awesome.
I have to admit, I was a little bit out of my elements there, but you know, next year I'll definitely go back and I'll be more interactive.
And go live. By then you'll have your lives under your belt.
I couldn't go live on my YouTube for some reason. That wouldn't let me. They said I had to wait like a 24-hour period.
You have to wait the 24-hour period, and then until you can't go live through YouTube until you get 1,000 subscribers. However, you can go live through YouTube if you use a third party, so StreamYard or Streamlabs. You could go live anytime.
But it was aggravating. I just kind of sat back and observed.
So I'm watching your videos, and I'm seeing you guys peel out on rocks and all kinds of stuff. And then the thing that hits me in my head, if you turn around and look at those tires on that Jeep back there, what does a set of tires like? That's what runs through my mind. What is the cost of a set of tires like that on a Jeep?
Well, the last time I bought some, it was like what, $1,700 for 4, I think. Is that what it was?
Yeah.
So you could be out there and tear out the sidewall of a tire, and where do you keep your spare?
I've actually got it on the roof of it.
Oh, okay, good.
It's up there.
$1,700 for a set of tires. And that doesn't mean if he bent a rim, you'd have to replace the rim too.
Yes. Yeah. I've
So
got
it's-
spare rims.
Yeah, there you go. So those are the things that were going through my mind. And then when I seen John 316, the red Cherokee.
Hey, believe it or not, though, that little stock Cherokee, now, it was a Compass,
Oh, was it a Compass?
and it was a Trailhawk package, so it had the lockers and stuff in it. And I was amazed with that thing how well it did. Like it really surprised me.
Well, I did notice on the one video he didn't go across that one river.
No, that was probably a little bit too deep.
Yeah, I see. Yeah, I heard your comments on that one.
Yeah.
Chrissy's sending out her love to everybody. She's out in her garden. She's another one. Her and her husband, that Paragon Ridge Ranch, they love going out.
They love four-wheeling on their property,
Yeah.
anybody else's property.
Yeah.
So that's you remember Chrissy? She from Paragon Ridge Ranch. That's what she just commented.
Yeah.
Well, the Ozarks have what 1.2 million acres.
Yeah.
I think maybe it's a give or take, and it's open to public.
Oh wow.
Now, but what you do have to do is you have to get onto their the Forestry Service webpage and look at their maps, because sometimes they have roads closed off that you won't know about. So if you're driving up there and you're on a trail, oh well, this looks interesting. That trail right there could be closed off, and if they catch you on it, it is a pretty hefty fine.
Yeah, you mentioned that on one of your videos where you were going in, and you said on the video, they're showing the Forest Service showing the road open when it's actually closed when you're going in 5 or 6 miles, and then it's impassable.
Yeah.
So you were pitching a fit on that one on your video.
Yeah, sometimes that happens. I mean, because you got to realize the trails and stuff out there, and it takes someone to actually go map those out.
Right.
So if the Forestry Service doesn't really know about that trail, that it's grown up too much to the point where you can't go through it, they won't know where to close it.
Yeah, it wasn't.
The storms knock down trees, and it's not like a regular road where the state will come and take care of it. If a big storm comes through, trees or something can fall, mudslides occur.
Yep.
So
really, it's like up to us overlanders to if it's a legal open road, it's kind of up to us to take care of those trails. And we do that. If there's trash or anything around there or at a campsite, we try to make it better the way we
That's
left.
awesome.
That's cool.
Or the way we arrived.
Yeah.
I used to do a lot of floating and stuff, and kind of had the same issues that you know where the river goes, but you never know when a tree is going to be down, or it's just anything.
Or barbed wire in the
or barbed wire, or steel fence down in the river. Yeah.
So I use Gaia GPS, and I've got the premium subscription, and it shows me the motor vehicle use maps, and it's not that accurate. I mean, like I said, it's still better to go onto the Forestry Service website and go on, because they'll show you actual roads that are closed.
Oh, okay.
Awesome.
So whenever I'm out there, I'm spending hours at that computer before I even go out. And I've got my phone, I got the laptop, and this computer, and I've got 3 different maps trying to figure out which ones are actually legal.
Oh, okay.
And you have to do that. Otherwise, you get yourself in a bind.
Oh, yeah. And sometimes when you do all that stuff, you still get in a bind.
Yeah.
Because the terrain changes. Changes.
It does. And there's massive water.
I know it's a blast when you're going through the mud and the water and all that stuff. But when you get done with a rainstorm, like we've just had this last couple of weeks, I mean, it changes everything.
Yeah, and I'll tell you this: you don't want to be out there during a heavy rainstorm, because that water will rise just like this in your stuff.
Yep.
Yeah. So, watching your videos, you guys get either in a tight situation, or you come across obstacles and stuff like that a vehicle just can't go over. So when you're planning for a off-roading trip, what are some of the essential tools or equipment you have to take with you when people go out and then they want to go four-wheeling through the woods, off-roading, whatever they want to call it? What are some of the things you recommend someone should have in the back of that vehicle?
Well, bare minimum, you want at least tow points in the front and rear, which I don't know if you can see, but I have shackles, the silver things that are hanging down. You need at least some sort where you can tie a chain to, front and back. I wouldn't really say you had to have a big lift like this one, but it does help. But if you got somebody that at least has a winch that's with you, the other person doesn't necessarily have to have that. A spare tire is a must. You want a jack, you want to bring some tools with you, maybe extra belt, some parts that may go out there on the trail. Because if you go out there, man, you have no cell phone service. You're miles and miles away from civilization, and the only type of communication that we have is our two-way radios. People use GSMRs. They'll use the handheld FRS radios or CB, and we use the FRS and GMRS radios, so we can instead of having to rely on the cell phone, because you ain't got that out there.
Yeah. So
the radios.
How important is a chainsaw?
Yeah. Well, it depends on if you want to go through with that trail or not. If there's a limb that's over that, and you don't want to turn around and go back and try to find your way around it, then yeah, a chainsaw would be important.
Yeah. Yeah, because I seen the one guy, he broke out. I think he had like a battery operated chainsaw. Yeah. And then also I heard you say, "Hey, yeah, what's the name? Need to break out that big bad boy." And then also he came in with that husky and started turning it up.
Yeah.
Because that little electric, he was going halfway through that log and he just petered out.
Yeah. Now, if I'm out there by myself, I don't carry a chainsaw.
Oh, wow.
Because, I mean, true enough, it is legal. You can cut a tree in half if it's down on a log, but you can't cut a tree if it's living, if it's straight.
Right.
I like to make things interesting if I'm by myself. If I can't go over that limb, I'm going to go find another trail.
Okay.
That gives me the opportunity to go explore something else. But if I got, 10 people with me and I've already got this mapped out, it's not feasible for me to go find another trail and run into another deal where we all have to turn around. You got 10 Jeeps behind you, you got to turn around. That's hard.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you with that big of a crowd, you have to have a chainsaw to go through that.
So what are some of the channels you watch on YouTube? It doesn't always have to be off-roading or something like that, but what are some of the channels you enjoy watching?
Well, I watch y'all's.
Well, that's good to know.
I watch.
Besides us being your favorite channel of all time, what other menial channels do you watch?
Here recently, we have bought some ducks, and I don't know how to take care of ducks. So I've been watching YouTube videos because I thought I had this idea in my head that these ducks would love me. They don't. They could care less. They scream in terror, even though I had them since they were babies.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so I have to watch some of these like homestead videos and stuff and be like, I have no idea how to take care of these ducks. I bought them a swimming pool the other day. They won't get in it.
Oh no.
How big are they?
They're full size now, but I think it's because they have a hard time trying to get over the top of it because I bought one of the bigger ones. So I'm having to try to figure out a ramp so that they can walk and jump into there. but that as soon as I walk in, they run in terror.
Yeah, what people do with those bigger pools, they'll go like to Lowe's and they cost like $1.98, and they'll get the paving stones and they'll make like 2 steps for them. And then when it's inside the pool, you put one on the inside so they can actually get out.
Yeah, mine has a problem getting out. It's like struggling to get out every once in a while. Yeah.
So that's I mean, that helps a lot. And they'll get used to it and they'll go to that thing every time and get in. And then they'll have a brick on the inside so they can actually get out.
Yeah, that's what Chris and Larry just said too. They need a step to get in and out.
Yeah.
So because we also live down here in the South, so we do stuff like that. We'll do gardens and stuff in the summertime, and we'll take care of our, you can't see them, but the ducks are out back, and we have critters and stuff too. So we watch videos that involve those things as well. So
yeah. Hey, the one thing that I enjoyed is I liked your review on that cooler back there.
Oh,
that cooler freezer.
Hey man, that's a game changer there.
I mean, it cost you about $300, but in the long run, not having to worry about packing ice all the time and stuff like that. I was telling her, because we have a handheld one, and it's about that big and about that wide, and you plug it in, but it's just a cooler, but it keeps stuff really cold when you're on a trip and stuff like that. But that thing right there, I mean, it gets down to the negatives, doesn't it? I mean, it freezes, keeps meat froze.
Yeah,
and stuff like that.
It'll get down to -4.
Oh, see?
Yeah.
What an awesome! I know it's called something toy pup or two top or something like that. I don't know what it's called. Yeah, you had the same problem when you were trying to do the video.
Well, I mean, people call it a joy. It's actually I call it Joy Tutus.
Joy Tutus, that's what it is. Yeah. But yeah,
man,
where did you pick that up on Amazon?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty sharp.
And I have the description or
in the video you left it at the bottom on Amazon.
I have the link in the description.
Yeah.
Cool.
That's cool. Yeah. So you were talking earlier about and I don't know why, maybe, I mean, I guess it takes a certain kind of person to be on YouTube and stuff like that. And there's a lot of people out there that do some absolutely awesome things, and they're still debating about whether to start a YouTube channel or not. And the first year of YouTube is probably the most exciting and the most frustrating.
All at the same time.
All at the same time.
Oh, it is.
It's
because
a learning curve for sure.
YouTube giveth and then YouTube taketh away. And we all experience that stuff. And I just want you guys to tell us, what were some of your highs and lows so far with YouTube?
I'm in a low right now because I can't get out. I mean, this Jeep right here has got me pulling my hair out.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you this story. David hates this story. But when we started making like the logos and the decals for his Jeep, he started putting it on there. Well, he calls me the grammar Nazi. That's what he calls me, because I will do typos.
Yeah.
So instead of it saying Folksy Overlanding, it said Folksy Overland Dong.
Donging.
Yes. And I said, you know that has a typo, right? I said, you didn't put that on any of your stuff. And he's like, no, I didn't. And then I caught him out here with the scraper, just like scraping it off. I said, you drove around for like 2 weeks with that saying Overland Donging. I'm afraid of that. So I hope that's in none of those videos. But we laugh about it now.
I don't think
so.
He just trying to make your merchandise and stuff for your, and trying to come up with logos and brand yourself. That's been a challenge, you know.
So you guys have a merch store.
Yeah.
And you guys where you sell your merchandise, your t-shirts and stuff like that. You also have a Facebook page, and you're also on Instagram.
Yes.
Are those your three? And of course YouTube. So you're on 3 social medias. Have you guys started doing TikTok?
Not yet. I have a Patreon where I put extra content, like behind the scenes stuff on.
Okay.
But that's just.
I didn't see that on your description thing in your about.
Oh, okay.
Your Patreon.
Added it.
I'm not real concerned with that just yet. I just got it started.
Okay. Okay. Maybe I'll find a 4X shirt on that merch store of yours.
Yeah, I'll call him and tell him that if not, he needs to order a bunch of it.
Did you get their shirt sizes?
I have not got their shirts.
Hey, what's your guys' shirt sizes?
I wear a medium. She wears a
medium.
Yeah.
Both of y'all?
Yeah.
Man, you guys are really similar, aren't you?
He complains that I take his shirt. He's
All
like, "That's
the
my
time.
shirt." I was like, "It's mine now."
Well, she sleeps in mine, and I looks like stuffed sausage in hers. So
You couldn't get one on.
Right. Right.
So, hey, where do you see your channel going? I mean, what do you want for your channel in the near and long term? Have you thought about that?
Not really. I just throw some stuff on there and hope for the best.
Come on, fire, light.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't guess I really give it much thought. You know.
I think we talked about going places outside of our comfort zone, places outside of Arkansas, journeying like Utah, North Carolina, going places
the Moab
like that.
area and stuff like that. I've done that.
I've actually got invited to go with the group to Moab in October, I believe. But if this Jeep doesn't, I don't know. I may just burn it down and start all over.
So you may have to get a U-Haul and put it inside and drive it to Utah, then drive it and put it back in there.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to figure something out.
Yeah.
So Drew over at Dutch Creek Cabin said, "I met these guys at Shoot Dang, good folks. Apparently he wanted to make a good impression on you. He didn't make you drink that nasty beer."
Yeah. Yeah, that was bad.
Yeah, y'all did that.
Yeah. I've done some stupid things in 61 years, but that's right up there in the top 5.
That tops it
That was
off.
horrible. That was horrible. But yeah, when I think back and the conversations we've had with everybody, when you go to meetups, and I don't know how you feel about it, but meetups are invaluable to your channel's future. Doing that networking.
I'm gonna tell you, like, as far as the subscription stuff, I didn't really much care for that. I enjoyed being around you guys. Like I enjoyed that, and I've learned just sitting back and watching. I've learned a lot. So
yeah,
you know,
and it's critical to just step up and ask the question.
Yeah,
you know, and you guys, you guys can always email us. We can put you in contact with somebody, or we may know the answer. If we don't know the answer, we probably know someone that does know the answer. Jason, Jared, all them, Chrissy, they have a lot of information. Then you got people over in your neck of the woods, which is Simple Life Reclaim and Country Road Cure. They've got a lot of answers. So I think, and they love going off-roading too. Don't get them wrong.
So y'all have a Jeep, right?
We have a Jeep.
Well, I mean, I know some trails where it's not that technical, but you'll get like super pretty views.
Dude, I am not taking a vehicle that came with 7 pages of options equipped in that thing. And I'm not taking $54,000 out there on the road.
I mean, the Washita's aren't very technical.
No.
I mean, it's just more like driving down a gravel road.
It's back.
Now she'll tell you when
I'd go.
All the trucks I've had, I've tore them trucks up. She goes, "You just paid all that money for that truck?" And I say, "It's just a truck."
Toyota on back roads in Colorado, Arizona.
We were in Colorado, and she had a Toyota Corolla. And I said, where y'all at now? She goes, we're on top of this mountain. And I go, wait a minute. They just got like 1.5 feet of freaking snow. She goes, yeah. And it's really cool when the snow, when we hit the snow and it flies all over the windshield.
Oh, yeah.
And she goes, I got front wheel drive. It'll go anywhere. My son's in the car and he's white knuckling it.
I made
Hanging
it.
on.
We
But
were
that was
good.
fun.
Yeah.
It was.
She's took that Corolla more places than I'll ever take that Jeep.
Took it up in Car Canyon Mountain in Arizona.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Right.
so hey, that's all the questions I had for you. Is there anything you want to say about your channel well, number one, let's talk about your wife and her inability to get on camera. Okay. I think she was only on one. She was only on one thing that I actually recognized her, and that was on your birthday. And you guys were out there at camp, and she brought you a cupcake with a candle on it.
Yeah.
But I could hear her singing in the background, so that's a plus.
I think I was actually holding the camera in that video.
Yeah.
I know. I could hear you on the mic.
You're supposed to
Go back and watch that.
I can edit that out.
You were there. Happy birthday. No, I'm just kidding. So you have a podcast. You told us earlier you run a podcast. What's that podcast about?
It's way out of the realm. I haven't launched my podcast yet. I'm going to do 30 episodes in 30 days. I know that's crazy. But mine's actually about, it's more kind of true crime focused, more about the judicial system. Like it's way,
I like her.
way out there. So yeah, I podcast some too.
Yeah.
I don't have to be on camera to do that though.
No, that's true. But it helps.
Yeah.
It helps. Because I know that Corn-Fed Life, they have a podcast and they go live and they post it on their YouTube channel. So and they're getting people to watch that stuff left and right. So you go over there and watch Corn-Fed Life and how they do their podcasts and stuff like that. It's really good.
Yeah, I've seen some people do both. They've done like they will do different content on their lives and they'll stream their podcast, or they'll do it, with their regular podcast streaming.
Yeah.
So I kind of let him do his thing and do my thing, and we do things together.
Fight over the computer sometimes.
There you go.
There you go. Yeah. So, hey, guys, I want to thank you guys for coming on here. We've been on, I think, about 40 minutes.
Yeah, I'm going to step outside and go get Jen and Wiley so they can come in.
Oh, yeah, we'll bring them in here. Bring them all in. Bring them in.
Did you can finish out.
So, hey, I just want to say thank you guys for coming on. Everybody in the chat, if you haven't checked out their channel, please go over there and check it out. Watch some of the videos. Subscribe to their channel. I think you're going to really enjoy the content. If you're into nature, you're into off-roading, you're into drone footage and camera work and stuff like that, David does a great job on all of that stuff right there. And I'm going to tell you, I was hooked on your channel after about 2 or 3 videos. And I think, because it reminded me back in the day when I used to tear up vehicles doing the same thing. But we called it hillbilly mudding. So
There you go.
you just
Hey,
drop
there's
a granny back there in the mud hole somewhere. And that's
That'd be a cool name for a channel, though.
Yeah. But I just want to say thank you guys. If there's anything we could ever do for you and questions or anything like that. And hey, one of the other things is doing some collaborations with those channels that are in Arkansas, like Country Road Cure and stuff like that. I mean, he has a little Toyota pickup or whatever, that little mini truck he drives, but I mean, he loves that kind of stuff. mean, he's a Harley rider, so you got to like danger.
There you go.
Hey, David also rides motorcycles. He's really good at motorcycles.
There you go.
But I talked to him about having some of them, even if they didn't have an off-road, just do a ride along, because that would be an experience, you know?
Sure. Yeah, ride along with you. That'd be great.
Yeah. And then you
Introduce
can still experience the camping part. We find creeks and stuff we jump in all the time.
Yeah.
So the water's really pretty and blue and stuff out there in the Ozarks, and when it's hot, we all just jump on in there. So.
Yeah, so I would encourage you guys to do some collaborating with those channels that are by you, because there's quite a few in Arkansas, and help you grow your channel. Yeah. So, hey, I want to thank you guys.
Yeah.
I'm going to take you guys down. Appreciate you guys coming on. Be looking in the mail for your T-shirts from MT Homestead. And guys, it was an absolute pleasure having you guys on here.
Oh, y'all too. It was awesome meeting you guys. Thank y'all for having us.
Yeah.
Oh, no doubt. And I hope everybody in here got to know a little bit more about Folksy Overlanding and not Dongju or anything like that.
And send me a link to your podcast, Carrie.
Yeah.
Oh, I will. As soon as I wanted to get it up and running before but unfortunately my father died. So I kind of put it on pause for a minute.
Yeah.
But I'm planning on getting it back up and running. I just had to put it on hold for a minute.
Hey, well, if you guys are ever passing through Oklahoma and you need a place to stay, give us a call.
Awesome, man.
We're here.
Thank y'all.
All right. Great having you guys.
See you on
All right.
I wish
Hey, did she just cut him?
you shouldn't let the shaky person control
That's
the mouse.
what we do to special guests. We just cut them off.
I'm sorry,
and
guys.
Get rid of them. There
They're
you
still
go.
in the background.
It's like coffee with the Crockers. We just end it.
Never let the shaky person control the mouse.
So, hey, guys, like we said earlier, we have guests today.
We do.
And we're making Wiley work for his meal tonight. No, I told you guys about the storm and the trees and all that stuff. Come on in here and sit down.
Let them come in.
So,
I'll stand behind you.
so we have Jen and Wiley here from Altruistic Farmstead, and
and working with Wiley.
Working with Wiley's the other channel that he has. And there's their dog, Lily. So they came over to have dinner with us and to pick up some wood from the storm. And we did a video on that where the storm took down half of a tree and the branches and all that stuff. So Wiley's over here, and he has his own sawmill. Is that correct?
That's correct.
He works with wood. And if you've never seen some of his woodworking abilities, it's absolutely awesome. Tell them about your cedar chest giveaway.
I'll let you do that.
He always makes me do the talking. So anyway, anybody who knows us knows that our mission is to feed the hungry in our community. So we're doing what we can to help fight food insecurity. If you don't know what that means, that is having food, but you may not have enough food. And so we serve a meal every Wednesday to about 100 people, and it's free in our community. And we wanted to start serving a second day this week, but we realized that with the cost of food and everything going up, that's not really going to be possible. So we are trying to raise money for a Harvest Right freeze dryer. We're almost there. We lack less than $1,000 now, and we are raffling off a cedar chest that Wiley and I made. You can go on over to our channel and check that out. It's on our Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. And we're raffling that off to raise the rest of the money that we need for the freeze dryer. So, and then we'll freeze dry leftovers throughout the week. We'll freeze dry fruits and vegetables as we harvest them. And we can use those things to help reach our goal in a roundabout way, so to speak, in feeding the hungry in our community.
Yep.
So,
guys,
that's pretty much it.
I'm going to tell you something. And I've said this a dozen times. The absolute respect I have for Jen and Wiley for taking care of their community.
Thanks, Chris and Larry.
the mission that they have, and this is a mission that you guys dedicated your family to. This gal can cook like nobody's business.
For an army.
and you really don't like to eat food that's not prepared by your hands, right?
Yeah, well, we don't like to eat a lot of stuff that's processed. So we don't cook with a lot of stuff out of bags, packages, that kind of thing. And so it's usually whole foods. I mean, we cook with meat that we cook. You know, it's not canned chicken, or we don't use rice-a-roni or hamburger helper or anything like that. So, which
you guys know is my favorite. When I was a single dad, I was the king of it. Yeah, because I didn't know how to cook very well. But hey, I want to say thank you. The whole community thanks you for what you guys do.
Thank you guys for everything you do for the
community. You guys
community.
are a blessing from God. I mean, I always talk about helping those in need, and you guys are actually living it day to day, and I want to thank you for that.
We honestly feel like it's what God's calling us to do. We volunteered a couple years ago to serve the homeless Christmas dinner, and we left, and we were like, oh my gosh, this is what we're supposed to be doing. That day, we were like, this is what our calling is.
It definitely really touched our hearts.
And so a week later, I quit my job. I worked at the post office. And I had a full-time career position, and I quit my job, and we started a farm, and here we are.
I'm telling you something, when God calls and you don't answer, look out.
Yeah, and it was a scary, proverbial cliff to jump off of, essentially, because, it's, I had a steady income. I knew where my next paycheck was coming from. I knew how much it was going to be, and it was enough to pay the bills. And so it was really a hard decision to just one day just quit and be like, we're going to start a farm with no idea how it was all going to work out. But here it is. I mean, this is almost 2 years later, and
Lily,
calm down. It's almost 2 years later, and God's still sustaining us. He's still giving us the tools we need to get the job done. And I don't know. It's just amazing. We just rely on our faith that he put us. I mean, he gave us a job, and he's going to give us the resources to get the job done. So we ain't going on vacation anytime soon. But we do love what we do, and we live a life of service, and it makes our hearts happy. So, and that's all that matters.
I'm telling you something. If you haven't subscribed to both of their channels, to support something like that. Now, we first met you guys when we were in Sulphur.
Right.
Sulphur.
Brandon, Eddie was looking to have a lunch and stuff like that. And the people that were going to do it, they all pulled out. And by the grace of God, like he said, the grace of God, he was contacted by you guys, and he said, let us do it.
Yes, it gives me goosebumps to talk about it, because it's so funny the way that it all happened. We were on Lori at Hygge Homestead's live, and she was talking about the Sulphur meetup, and that's the first we'd heard about it. We're like, man, we just butchered a hog. Can we bring food for everybody? And she's like, well, you got to contact Brandon at Rustic Woodworking Family. And we hadn't met their channel yet. Like we didn't know about them. And so we went ahead and sent them an email, and it wasn't but a few minutes before that the other people had canceled and said that they couldn't do it. And then just out of the blue, we're in their inbox like, hey, we want to bring everybody food. And it worked out perfectly. And then wonderful Terrie, she'd never met us before. She heard about what we were doing, I think before she even talked to us about it. And she took a hat around and took up a love offering. And so the funny thing is that we almost didn't make it there. Like, we had prepared all of this food in our tiny home kitchen. We almost didn't make it because we had a flat tire on our car. And our spare tire was flat also. And so we ended up using our grocery store rewards points to buy a plug kit to plug our tires so that we could get there. And it just all worked out. So...
And we had a ton left over that we was able to take to Oklahoma City and drive around the homeless camps and things like that and pass out a lot of food whenever we left there.
Yep.
So great people.
A lot of people got blessed.
Yeah.
And
And you guys are a blessing all by yourselves.
Debra from Butt Nuggets wanted to know. She said, "Don't you guys have a GoFundMe set up for the freeze dryer?"
We actually don't. It's our
We have a
we
PayPal
have a
donation
PayPal
link.
but that's all we have.
It's on our community tab. It's on our Facebook page and our Instagram.
Now, I did have somebody email me yesterday and say that it wasn't working.
But I
She
don't.
couldn't get it to work.
Hmm.
But I don't know how to check it myself to see if it's working or not. So I'm not 100% sure.
And remember, send it to friends and family, so you don't
Yeah.
incur the additional
Yeah,
cost.
don't
Yeah.
send it like you're sending to
Yeah.
a business.
Yeah. Yes, Terry came and helped us a couple times in the park. They would bring water, sleeping bags. She brought jackets, and I can't even. They gave us a slow cooker and a roasting pan that we use all the time, and a pressure cooker, and it's just
Some rice and beans that we're still actually using.
yes.
Because beans make me gassy.
Yeah.
One thing that I did bring that I thought was the best thing that I could have brought was the fruit the one time, because people
they
don't
wiped
freeze.
it.
Oh my
Yes,
gosh,
yes,
they
they
love
do.
fruit,
They
and
love
it's so expensive that it's not like we try to provide a nutritional meal. We'd love to provide more. PayPal link is broken. No.
Guys, if you happen to go to our PayPal, we have 2 separate PayPal links.
There's our general PayPal link where you should be able to leave a note that it's just for the freeze dryer. Otherwise, and then there's the other link for the freeze dryer, but I don't know why it's not working.
I don't know why it's not working. We may have to go in and redo it or
Yeah.
whatever. But if you're ready now or you're wanting to do anything now, if you go to our general donation and just make sure you put a note in there that it's for the
freeze dryer.
freeze dryer.
Yeah.
So, yes, and that'll be a really great thing.
So,
Lily found a chicken feather.
hey guys, we're going to get off here now. We're going to finish up outside.
I'm gonna go make dinner.
Terry's making sour cream chicken enchiladas.
Yes.
Yum.
Those are so good.
I can't wait.
That's actually
She was going to go Korean until she seen your guys' posting.
Well, that and I couldn't get everything here that I
Yeah.
need for.
She usually
true
goes
Korean
down by
barbecue.
Dallas to there's
Yeah.
a big Asian market down there. And she picks up everything down there by Dallas.
Oh.
She goes down there.
By the way, if you raffle tickets are $5 each, or you get 5 tickets for $20, and if you spend over $50, then they're a $2 each. So if you have to use that other link, if you donate in those increments, then we'll know how many tickets that you want. So you're not just like donating; you get a chance to win this beautiful, awesome cedar chest that
And
we
we've
made.
seen it.
So
It's awesome.
it's beautiful. I wish we had room in our house. I'd just keep it.
No, you don't. That spot's reserved for the freeze dryer.
Yeah.
Yes,
right.
yes, it is. And actually, we measured our counter, and it'll fit perfectly underneath
really?
our little island. So it's gonna be great. But anyway, sorry.
All right. Hey, so guys, thanks for being in here. Remember, Folksy Overlanding. Check out their channel.
Sorry
Give them a
for
chance.
cutting them off.
Geez.
I'm horrible.
I said goodbye and she just cut them off. So, hey, we love you guys. Remember, do something nice for someone, help somebody in need, and always, always think of that. Those 3% that serve so we could live in this beautiful country, can't thank them enough. So, until next time, on our next video, God bless you. We love you, and we'll see you then. Bye, guys.
Bye.
All right, what do I do next? I'm not in the pilot seat.